Hey everyone, Michael here. The new debt ceiling bill was just put online and I just took a look at it. And my oh my, there's a lot of stuff in here that you guys have to see. There's even a pipeline in here, and I don't even think Democrats are going to be very happy with that one. Just from looking at this, there's really not much Democrats are going to be happy with. There should be a lot of stuff that more moderate members of the Republican caucus are going to like, but it probably doesn't go as far as some of those on the far right would like it to go. So let's take a few minutes to go over everything in here because my oh my, is it something to keep an eye on. Now, first, I was able to break this down into ChatGPT using a few plugins that I have available. I want to tell you guys what's going on here and how much money is being spent, and then we're going to go over here and actually look at the bill itself just so you guys can see some of the interesting things that are being put in here. Now, the big things that everybody's talking about, number one, discretionary spending limits for fiscal years 2024 and 2025. Discretionary spending refers to the portion of the budget that the Congress appropriates annually. It's divided into two categories, security and non-security. The security category includes defense-related spending, while non-security categories include everything else, like education, transportation, and health. The bill proposes specific amounts of each category for fiscal years 2024 and 2025. All right. Now, I'm going to come down here very fast. For fiscal year 2024, a total of $1,590 billion is proposed, with 56% going to security category and 44% going to the non-security category, okay? Afterwards, we have two more things we really need to focus on here. This last one, we'll talk about it, but it's not nearly as important. Appropriations for cost of war toxic exposure fund. This is a specific fund to set up cover health care costs associated with veterans' exposure to environmental hazards. We don't got to worry about that too much, but it is good that the government is taking care of veterans after they put them in some really bad scenarios out at the war zones, right? Next, we have appropriation for Department of Commerce non-recurring expenses fund. This fund is for one-time non-recurring expenses related to improving government efficiencies. I don't know if they've actually been doing very good at becoming efficient, but the bill appropriates a specific amount for this fund for fiscal year 2023, which is then divided equally between fiscal years 2024 and 2025. So they get a lump sum of money and they have to be good with it or they're going to be in trouble. I don't necessarily like this because I know they're just going to waste it. Now, additional spending limits for fiscal years 2026 to 2029. This is way out here. These are proposed discretionary spending limits for future years. These limits are set to provide a framework for future budget decisions, but they can be adjusted as circumstances change. And basically, they say this because we have Republicans in the House right now. Maybe later on we have Democrats, and Democrats might want to spend more. So they understand that they're not going to have the ability to lock down the next Congress, which would disenfranchise the voters that put that new Congress into place, right? Or voted him into office. Now, for fiscal year 2025, a total of $1,605 billion, $900 million is proposed, with 56% going to security category and 44% going to non-security categories, okay? So each year it's going up a bit more, okay? Now, $22 billion is allocated for the Department of Commerce non-recurring expenses for the fiscal year 2023, which is then divided between the fiscal years 2024 and 2025. Afterwards, for 2026 to 2029, the proposed discretionary spending limits increase each year, starting from $1,621,959 million, and then it goes up even more and even more all the way up until the year 2029, okay? It's going to be a while. What happens in 2026, 2029 is not going to be what's happening now. I doubt Republicans are going to keep control the entire time. And so this is going to adjust. But for now, for the next few years, it looks like we're going to be looking at some austerity, so to speak. We're not going to be spending as much money. Hopefully that helps us out just a little bit more with inflation. Now, if you guys want to actually look at this bill, I will put the link down below. This is just a Google document. But however, this bill is called, if I can remember what it's called, here we go, the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. Doesn't sound too snazzy, but I guess politicians aren't too imaginative, right? Now, afterwards, they go into a lot of stuff here. It is not my goal to bore you with a whole bunch of stuff. I just want to kind of guide you here in case you do want to come over and kind of read some of this because it is important. Now, you're going to see over here, it talks about a few different things. Discretionary spending limits, special adjustments for fiscal years 2024, 2025, budgetary treatment of previously enacted emergency requirements, and then you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff of rescission of unobligated funds. Remember how they're clawing back that COVID money? They are clawing back loads of COVID money, okay? It's going to be quite a bit. Now, there is one thing I want you guys to see right here. These are some of the important things that Republicans are going to like. Democrats, I just don't know how they're going to vote with this, but they're going to just be mad about voting with it. And they're probably behind the scenes very upset at Joe Biden, because it does seem like the Republicans got a lot out of this deal. I was watching the news yesterday during Sunday, and it seemed like there was a lot of spin on both sides, you know, Republicans and Democrats. And I was trying to figure out, well, let's see who's right when the bill actually comes out. And man, Democrats really didn't get much in here. I thought the Democrats would have gotten a lot more. I kind of felt like they got crumbs, which maybe it's because they decided not to negotiate to the last minute, so they just didn't have the leverage. But wow, it is surprising. So first of all here, temporary assistance to needy families. They're going to recalibrate the caseload reduction credit. They're basically going to do more studies to see if it's actually helping people get out of poverty by giving them all the handouts. Then you got elimination of small check schemes. This is good. This is just like fraud and stuff. Reporting of work outcomes, report the work, effective dates, basically. Now you got this, SNAP exemptions. Progressives were not happy about this one, and if they read it now, they're probably fuming. Modification of work requirement exemptions, modification of general exemptions, supplemental nutrition assistance programs under the Food and Nutrition Act of 2008. You remember that lady, I forget her name, Michelle Obama? Yeah, so they're changing up a whole bunch of stuff here. Then they got the permitting reform. So Builder Act, let's see, permitting streamlined for energy storage, expediting the completion of the Mountain Valley Pipeline. This is a pipeline that goes from West Virginia to Virginia. But guys, they got a pipeline out of this. I mean, an expedited finish of a pipeline, but they're getting pipeline and oil out of this. Like, it is insane. I don't see it why Democrats would want to have more oil. They would probably want to have more green energy and stuff. But overall, what this thing talks about here, the permitting reform, which I think Democrats will like, is it's going to be easier to get permits for oil pipelines and stuff like that, but also be easier to get, you know, wind farms and maybe solar farms and things of that nature. It's going to be easier for both of them. So I think that's going to be the small compromise there. But right now, they actually have Mountain Valley Pipeline right smack there for everybody in the world to read on page 4. Now, there is one thing I want you guys to go over here, and I remember maybe it was 342, maybe. Oh, no, we need to go over here to the search bar. 324, there we go. Okay. And 324, let's go down a little bit. There we go. So this is the pipeline right here. Section 324, expediting completion of the Mountain Valley Pipeline. It's all the way towards here at the bottom, page 95 of 99, and you know they want to hide it if they put it all the way back down there. But also, guys, this is a very short, small bill. This is 99 pages. Last one was like a couple thousand pages. A lot easier to read this one, so I give the props to McCarthy or whoever decided on having it being a small bill, because everybody can actually read it and have time to digest what's going on. Those other bills, you have no idea what's going on. So McCarthy, good job for making this easy to read for people out there like me who don't have time to read thousands of pages of documents. Excuse me. Now, in this section, the term Mountain Valley Pipeline means the Mountain Valley Pipeline project is generally described and approved by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. This is basically means Mountain Valley Pipeline is Mountain Valley Pipeline that is here for Virginia. Okay. Now, approval and ratification of maintenance and existing authorizations, notwithstanding any provision of law. Basically, this is giving them everything they need to hurry up and finish this pipeline. You're seeing the Secretary of the Army shall issue all permits and verifications necessary. They are, whatever has been stopping this from being done, it will be done no longer. It will be stopped no longer, excuse me. Increasing the debt limit. Towards the end here, temporary extension of the public debt limit. This one means the debt limit is going to be extended until 2025, until after the next election. That way, Democrats, at least in this circumstance, can't get bent over a barrel again before the election is. Wow, I am surprised. Progressives are probably fuming, and I don't know if they try to block this and try to get another deal, but it's just not very favorable to the Democrats. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I appreciate you guys watching.